my project specifically, I was able to just write and create music about my time living overseas and kind of my identity as like a third culture kid. And it was really cool. I got to include other musicians from my time living overseas. So I had Kate Egon Chavez and Juan Miguez come, and they both were really influential musicians from from my past.
We're having a technically difficult day today, and people can't see. And I'm not even going to explain. We're having
MacGyver.
MacGyver. We're having some laughs at some MacGyvers. Yeah,
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Maddie's gonna have lots of stories to tell.
Perfect.
I love the idea of the third culture kid. Oh, in part because my own children grew up quite a bit in Ireland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so I have an understanding of
you get it.
You belong in two worlds and you belong in no worlds, and just talk a little bit about that. And Ireland, I mean, what's so funny is they did have to learn Irish in school, but I mean we're still talking English speaking. It's not the extreme because you grew up in Seoul.
Yeah, and the high school that I attended was still primarily in English. I took Korean as a language. Just that seemed the most appropriate.
Yes.
Where I lived, but yeah, it's kind of interesting, you know. And for those who are unfamiliar with the term third culture kid, you are born into one culture, or your family is one culture, and you grow up in the second culture that's drastically different, and you yourself are this third blend of the two, and so that it's a really cool space to be in. It's very unique to every individual, which is funny that there's like an overarching term, but how you exactly experience it is very different. But yeah, it creates this I use the word like betweenness a lot. I feel very between in spaces that, like you're saying, you're not fully from one place and you're not fully from another. You just have this really interesting understanding of duality and how you fit into spaces or don't fit into spaces, you know. So yeah, it creates a give and take. There's a lot that I love about it, and I think there's a lot that I'm able to empathize with folks who, you know, that feel without place or feel different, or you know, any kind of indicator of having a like mixed identity, and just like talking about like intersections of identity. I understand that. I feel very well, but then at the same time too, you still feel without place in so many ways. Yeah.
Well, and I noticed with my kids, one of the things I liked about going over there, and we were there for a few years, not they primarily grew up here, but I think especially if you grew up in America, you have a real sense of how things should be. Like, this is the right way to do things. It's nice to be somewhere else and to say, there's no one right way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's so funny, like, so I was born in Minnesota, and we moved when I was in middle school, and I had an idea of how I wanted my life to go. We'll just say that. And my poor parents, I apologize profusely of you know, I had the understanding of what high school was going to look like. I had the dreams of driving the crappy car to school, you know, like all those things. And you know, I didn't get my license until college because the driving age in Korea is 18, but also public transportation is like $1 to get anywhere in the city. So why
Right.
Yeah, it's really funny. I definitely had that notion of what I wanted because of how strong like American ideals are, and just the way that the American experience is painted out so strategically, blatantly. I don't know how you want to put it. It's very straightforward. Yeah.
On nearly every TV sitcom that you've ever seen, and every magazine cover, and the middle school's a tough time.
Yeah. Yes.
That was a tough time.
Yeah, and I had been at the same school since kindergarten. So I had the same group of friends all the way up until moving overseas, and I'm very thankful that a lot of them are still very present in my life. And I guess I'm just super thankful that like when I did move was the emergence of like, you know, Gmail chat and Facebook and Skype. Lots of Skype.
Oh.
Skype was the big thing. I know Zoom has taken over, but Skype was the big one at the time. Yeah.
We used to use Magic Jack.
Oh my god, we had one of those too. It was such a nightmare.
Well, for folks who have never used it, the funny thing is that it was kind of a system where you could plug an American phone into your computer. But the nice thing about it is then you felt like you were on the phone as opposed to yeah.
But I think the original version of Magic Jack, if I'm remembering, because when we first moved, we had one. You had to plug it in somewhere in America first. Like the original one, like you had to have like your American number plugged in somewhere. And so
wow.
it was like a whole mess of trying to like, I think we had it at my uncle's house for a while in the basement, and at one point it like got disconnected and we're like, go plug the phone.
What?
Yeah.
Why did you clean the basement?
Yeah, no, it was something like that. But yeah, and then it turned into an app, and then it got better. But then suddenly obsolete with all the ways to freely call someone, which is very nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that does make a huge difference. When I'm not in middle school, but I spent a lot of my time in college and soon after living overseas.
Yeah.
And those, not to totally out myself, but those were the days of the postcards.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's how I wrote.
So fitting.
Oh, well, there you go. That's,
yeah.
And you would have these snapshots, so we will turn it around because that song is amazing.
Thank you.
So
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We'll listen to it when we get set up, but tell us a little bit, because tell us about postcard collection.
Yeah. I mean, part of it is it's funny, you talk about mail, and physical mail was a huge part of living overseas as well, and my mom always tells a story about the mail lady using the word packagey to like, and she's like, oh, it's like Christmas every single time, and to just have that kind of like taste of home in small ways, whether it was a package or a physical letter. And my friend Zoe was like one of my few like actual physical pen pals from America, which I just thought was crazy. But yeah, Postcards Collection is a song that I wrote more specifically about memory. And it talks about flashbulb memories, so really distinct, quick memories that I had experienced and are really profound to me still. But I don't know if you experience this as well, but there's some times where I feel very disoriented and I don't know where memories come from, and I don't know, like, there have been times where I've run into people from overseas here and I can't place them, and you know, there's this kind of swirling effect. And so as the song goes on, it starts with these really simple images from individual memories, and then as the song goes on, you kind of get this, where is this coming from, how is this happening, and the mind is a crazy place.
It is, and then there's a time where you don't know, was it a dream, was it real,
yes.
was it
all the time, yep.
All right,
yeah,
should we listen to Postcards?
Yeah.
Postcard Collection.
Yes, thank you.
Broken sidewalk, empty car park, hearts along the road.
Postcard Collection by Maddie Thies, and we are delighted to have Maddie in the studio with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's just such a pretty song. I mean, it just is. I see a lot of very strange modern art, and I feel like I'm in a museum almost seeing the pictures. You know, there's something very relaxing but just pensive about it.
Yeah. No, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Can you have a video to that one too? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the really cool thing about that video, like I said, when I had the commission, I was able to include some friends from overseas, and Tate's sister, Ana Chavez, is a filmmaker from Los Angeles, and she was able to come for 3 days and kind of followed us around and just captured, images and film, just filmed the whole thing, and it's really cool, the way the song starts out. You have these really distinct images, and she does so well of like creating these really small moments, and like there are ones too that just like stand out to me. Like there's one of Tate playing guitar in the kitchen, and there's one of me and Juan sitting at the table. I mean, there's my dog is in the video. Just these really, really tender moments. There's a lot of people have pointed out that there's a moment that she just has of my staircase, and for a lot of people that's very profound, and just like kind of the concept of home and place, but also it could be anywhere, you know. And then as the video goes on, Ana has this incredible style of overlapping film, and I think as like we're talking about the kind of disorienting nature of the song and just memory in general, that is definitely comes together in a visual sense, which is just incredible. But yeah, the video is so special to me. The song was about these really profound memories when I was in Korea, and the video and the song now create their own kind of really tender moments for me, and I know it won't always have the same effect for others, but I'm so grateful for that aspect of it.
There's a quality to the video that reminds me of the pictures of my grandparents. Yeah. And it's whatever filters on it kind of thing, and there's very much that feeling too, that of tapping into the memory, and maybe even memories that aren't your own, but like your grandparents. Things you've heard.
I know some of it is filmed on a Super 8 too.
I'm sure that's
that's part of the nostalgia of it.
But sure. Even like, I don't know what the whole lyric is, but the can of fuzzy peaches or something that makes me think of grandparents and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just like that. My grandma always ate like those disgusting orange candies that are like marshmallows. I think they're orange blossoms or something. Okay. So when I heard the can of fuzzy peaches, I was like, it made me think of that. So it was just like, I don't know. It's kind of cool how you can. We get that piece from your words.
I love that people are able to interpret like their own memories from it. But what's really funny about that verse is actually I had gone to an indie film with like my best friend Kevin in high school, and when we walked into this indie theater, because there's not so many that show specifically indie films, we had a friend there who was just had an actual can of cheese and was eating these peaches in the movie theater. And we're just like, that's an odd snack. So yeah, it just
going to a movie, I gotta get my peaches.
I just like I can see it, like just like walking down and be like, oh, I know that guy, and I'm like, what is he? Yeah, he's just eating peaches out of a can. Like, just great snack, just I
kind of love it.
So profound.
Well, and those are the snapshots. Like, you maybe went to the school with this guy. Peaches guy
I did.
For 8 years, but the thing you're going to remember 20 years from now.
Oh, definitely that.
Remember him and his peaches?
You go down the aisle in the grocery store every time.
Oh, yeah. And that's really kind of, I mean, life is just a collection of, it's just like you're walking down the grocery store and you're like, oh, yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, that was one of the first verses that I actually wrote for this song too. I just was like, this is so profound to me, and it's so goofy, but I mean, when you just have it kind of laid out, I don't know, just a good memory.
Well, and And your time at Cedar must have, I mean, that is an opportunity to stop and think and decide what is that like, to just have the opportunity to be like, I can breathe and I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, it was, I first of all, just like huge thank you to the Cedar and the Drone Foundation for letting that happen. One, for myself being chosen, but just there's been so many artists that have gone through that commission and are huge. I know like Dessa's one of them, Abby Wolf is one of them. There's just so many folks who have gone through that commission and are just doing incredible things musically. So it's just such an honor, and to provide a space and funding to just create, you know, obviously you propose like what you want to do, but like you're saying, to have that time and the resources to really create something that it's like, this has been in my heart for so long, and I've just never had the means to do it, was really incredible. But yeah, it was one of those things where when I first got it, I first of all was very overwhelmed.
I'm like, yes, oh no.
I know, actually,
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that can vouch that I'm probably one of the few musicians that if I had the choice of making music while not being perceived, I would. I just, the whole part of it is overwhelming, but I know that comes with the territory, and I'm coming to embrace it. But yeah, that was the first thing. It was the first thing I felt, was just like incredibly overwhelmed. And then there was just this period of sitting and really kind of mapping out, how do I want this to go? You know, what do I want to talk about? And it was really special. I worked really closely with Tate through a lot of this, and in a lot of ways I would say he mentored me through this project. And he, you know, there was just like sessions where we would journal and that we would talk, and it was about like, what is profound, where do we find, you know, universal concepts, because there's definitely imagery like in the song that it's individual to myself, but how can I also make it that it applies to other folks? And I think that's one of the other songs I think I sent was Home Tonight, and that's another track that, you know, there's a lot of folks who have a duality of like, what is home and where is home, and that question is so hard to answer for so many people. But I think especially for TCK folks, that you definitely have, you know, people are like, where are you from? And you're like, that's a great question.
Yeah.
You know, I can give you the answer of where was I born, and then where have I had an address, you know, but what do I claim as home? I don't really know. And that's, you know, in the lyrics of that song too, is like, is home a feeling or is it a place? And that's like a huge thing that I think TCK folks, and a lot of folks who have kind of, you know, mixed feelings about where their home is, there's kind of like that chosen family aspect, or there's definitely spaces where you're like, I feel the most myself in these spaces for whatever reason, even if it's temporary. You know, there are definitely times where I'm like, I'm having a conversation with someone, like, you understand me so well right now. Like, and that was something too really beautiful about like having Anna come and like film the whole process. Was like one of the first, I had never met her. I'd met Tate, but I hadn't ever met Anna, and I think she was in my house for like 2 hours, and it was me, Anna, and Juan all sitting at the table, and within like an hour of us having a conversation, we all just were like crying.
Oh my goodness.
We're like, you understand me, like this. It was really very special to just have so many folks like living and creating with me, just all of us together, and to have that commonality and understanding. It was really beautiful. Yeah.
Should we listen to this?
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, and this was actually, we recorded it as a one take, as a Tiny Desk submission. And so these are all the folks from the Cedar Commission. So,
Okay, awesome. Were we talking about this April?
potentially.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, good. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Home Tonight?
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna fix a technical thing.
Okay.
I'm actually curious too, Maddie, since I'm going back to the space that. Okay. You got it?
Yep. Well.
Okay. Where you are in so many bands too,
Yeah.
and you can just pop in and fill in. You're kind of like just ooze into all the spaces, but I feel like that's sort of a comforting home. You do that because like the everywhere, nowhere type of feel, I think.
I don't know if I've ever accounted that, but yeah, it's been really incredible. Like since the Cedar, there's been a lot of bands that have asked me to fill in, and even just like within the various groups that I'm in now, it's fun to just also have so many different genres to kind of, you know, feed into, pull into, and I think that's just like a really fun thing about being a bassist too. I feel like it's easier to just kind of jump into everything and to find feel. But yeah, no, it's been so fun to just play so much music this last year. And it's been such an honor to be trusted with so many people's art and to have, you know, I understand like how vulnerable that is to say, not only am I asking you to fill in, but like to do it well. And I hope that I've done everyone justice, but yeah, no, it's been incredible. I definitely just feel like a sponge in so many ways, and yeah, I'm very, very thankful for those experiences.
Yes.
Okay, now we're gonna listen to it.
Home tonight, Maddie, Thies, mostly Minnesota music on WMCN 91.7 FM in St. Paul. I have to get that in every now and again.
I was gonna say, I think you have to do the same thing for.
There's a patch of sunlight on my bare wall. Nothing else remains. Things are not the same. See the mark you got into my door. Want nothing more than this before. Is it feeling or place? Our thoughts embrace. Anywhere I go, soul's kind. Anywhere I go, soul's kind.
It's fun to look around and see all the different music through the eras.
Is it really cool to listen to your stuff? Like just sit with and with like people that you don't know, or I don't know. It would be a weird experience. Kind of that
cool.
weird. Yeah.
I definitely have to like practice letting people listen to my music, and so just because I'm so nervous all the time. But well, it's always a different experience, and I'm always just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't like to like it.
Yeah.
Does that look so good? Kind of like hearing your voice on a recording, and I'm like, I don't sound like that. It's like, ugh. So I'm just like, I don't know.
Definitely get that.
Yeah.
Home Tonight by Maddie Thies, who we have in studio.
Oh,
Hello.
Ooh.
happy.
You know what I love? Kind of inherent in that song is the idea that, wherever you go, there you are. Like, you are your own home. And that, it's a scary concept, but it's awesome.
Yeah. No, the turtle effect.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's very much, it just is. Yeah, I mean, it's the best and the worst.
Yeah. No, it's funny. I was having a conversation with someone recently about how you can feel so isolated, and yet that feeling is so universal.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
I can't understand
I know,
that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's had some concept of being misunderstood or not feeling in place or just feeling alone in some aspect, whether it's that you don't know where your home is or I had someone actually, come up to me after the show and had said that they had grown up in foster care and they had moved between so many homes and they were like, I've never had like a song that reflected that feeling before, and it touched me so incredibly, like for someone to one share that experience, but two to just like hear that and say like I had my own experience of what this means, and for someone to say no, I've actually had my own understanding of wherever I end up, this is what it is. So and just really wanting that kind of yearning for that feeling of place, I think, as well, just kind of always. And like I was saying before, that is it a feeling, is it a place? I think some of their stories, a hardwood floor or a warm embrace,
Yeah.
And I think that's also that kind of imagery of the staircase of like, I can hear those stairs, that house is so old and creaky, like, I can hear it. But yeah, and then definitely just, my family, when I was in college, I used to meet them in different parts of the world for Christmas. And it definitely was like, we made the best of our Airbnb. And there were times where we would be, so late in the holiday season. And so we'd have like a bush we found at the grocery store. And we'd find like anything sparkly in the Airbnb to like decorate it with. Or,
cookie glitter, whatever.
No, actually,
yeah.
And there was one time I had brought like a kit from Target to we were in London of like how like ornament making, and my dad glued goldfish to one of these like little ornaments.
Please tell me you saved
My mom took
ornament from each.
My mom took a picture of it, and we have like a laminated photo version of it. Goldfish weren't gonna make it, but
That's true.
It was so funny.
I was gonna say, please tell me you mean goldfish like I love the fishes because they're so delicious and not out of a bowl.
No, yes, like the actual like goldfish crackers, the
Okay,
snack
good.
that smiles back. Yeah. No, I had brought like, I always bring like American snacks whenever I visit, or there's always like the list of things my parents are like, we need these things, and it could be the most random things. And I bought 2 bags of goldfish, and the first one was consumed. The tube ride to the apartment was like in its entirety.
That's awesome.
They were like, oh, we need this. And the second one made it onto the ornaments. So just making the best of space, and just those like many Christmases in different areas has always been super impactful, and just kind of the goofy things that we've like there was one time we were in Prague for the holidays, and my father misread the bag of flour, and it was powdered sugar, and so we had a really sweet Christmas dinner. We made like a nut loaf, and like it was just so sweet. The gravy is so sweet. It's so wonderful to have those memories.
Like your postcards or your flashbulb memories of that, like the peaches, the powdered sugar, like.
It's so good.
I love this.
Good.
Yeah.
Those are the things you remember.
Yeah, exactly.
The walking to school every day, you kind of remember, but it's the time that you found the $20 bill on the way. It's just
making the best of space, and those memories are just so profound and so goofy, and just really thankful for them.
Thank your mom and dad for the material there, the
Oh,
powdered
yeah,
sugar.
thanks,
and
Mom and
the-
Dad.
yeah.
They said they were going to listen. They currently live in Panama, so you might have a international
There we go.
duo.
Thank you, mom and dad.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Mom and Dad. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Yeah.
But it really does. It really, again, it brings back that idea of being home,
Yeah.
because it's.
Yeah.
I've spent some Christmases away from home.
Yeah. Those are hard.
Those are hard.
Those are hard. There's always the I'll be home for Christmas. My mom was like, turn that off. Can't listen to it. It makes me sad.
I remember calling home one time and I talked to my sister and she's like, so what are you having for Christmas dinner? I'm like, I don't know, beans on toast.
Yeah.
I was in London this time. She's like, that's funny. That's what Mom's making too. Like, thank you.
Cute.
Thank you. Yeah.
I like that.
So that is when you kind of have to bring it yourself.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
Mm-hmm. We haven't made the powdered sugar a repeat offender, but
No.
we think about it every time. We see the flour come, we're like, you sure you know what that
Isn't
is?
that- Never live it down. Never live it down.
No, it was great.
Oh.
It was great. Yeah.
Should we listen to another?
Yeah, I was gonna say this one is my favorite. I'm sorry.
No, this one's a little heavy, but another isolating thing about living overseas is when you lose someone, you never feel as isolated as those moments. And sometimes it can be mourning friendship, but just from a distance standpoint of not being around someone, and some people just need constant contact. Some friendships need maintenance, and that's just the fact of life.
Yeah.
And sometimes you lose those folks, but sometimes people pass as well, and it's hard to be away from folks. So the thing about this song is the lyrics I actually wrote when I was in high school. I had a friend that I had played soccer with when I was super young, and I think this year is it'll be coming on 10 years of her passing, and you never feel as isolated as you do, because you're not with the group of folks that you knew this person with, and the people that you're with are like, I know you're sad, but I can't retell memories, I can't celebrate their life in a way that really does them justice. So this song has developed over many years, and there's just this really emotional outpouring in this kind of coda ending. So, I think it's really special that Tate is also a bass player, so he's playing stand-up bass on this.
Oh.
And it was the last song that I performed. So this is a live take from my commission. It was my last song, and it was really beautiful for all of us to kind of end on this really just, I don't know, it's a really emotional
Powerful.
song for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Morning by Maddie Thies.
Your face too beautiful to be into ashes. How I wish I could give you more in my cheek. I don't know you. I don't know you anymore. I don't know you.
Morning by Maddie Thies on Mostly Minnesota Music on WMCN 91.7 FM in St. Paul on beautiful McAllister College campus. And we have Maddie in studio.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. What's so powerful about that song is that you kind of just let the music take over for the lyrics at a certain point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of that is it gets really sad.
Yeah,
Like words don't come out.
I know, yeah, that's, it's, but the restraint of it, I think,
Yeah.
because I mean, and I know for sure everybody in this room has lost a friend. I mean,
Yeah.
there just comes a point where you don't have the words.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for you to have the music, and that, like, that's when that music, the song, that's when the tears come. That's when it really gets a stride. I mean, it's a very powerful song.
Thank you. Yeah, it's one that I've just had in my heart for so many years, and it's grown as grief has grown and as grief has developed, and you know, and the reason I chose to perform it was my nanny, my grandmother. She had passed that December leading up to the commission, which was in February, and she was someone I was super close with, and I couldn't not, you know, and there part of it was like reserving space for her in my set, but also just like being thankful for the fact that I was able to bring that specific group of people together and celebrate, like just knowing that set of circumstances will never happen again, you know. And like, so there's a youth orchestra overseas called AMI, Association of Music International Schools, and every time they sit us down, and there's I don't even know how many schools are part of it, but it's a world international school thing. You send in blind auditions, and
Wow.
the collection of folks is crazy. And every year they sit you down, and the first like rehearsal you have, they're like, soak this in. This exact set of people will never be here again. And I think about that every time that I have really unique performances, or even just like really touching crowds, you know, that it's like there are people that show up and you're like, you might not ever come to another show or whatever. And that was the fun thing too. Or I guess something special about this song was the last time that I had performed it live was at the Depot here. And my nanny came, and there were so many people that we like put her in a chair like on the side of the stage.
Oh,
Because we like, didn't want to get knocked over. So I just remember like having this kind of protective moment of her, and yeah, I had been in a folk band prior, and we performed it. It's called Northern Pinnacle. It always comes back. It was a really cool band. George Dornbach it was a duo, and we played a very early form of that song. And actually, the first thing George said, he came to the commission, and the first thing he said was, "Wow, that song's changed." Like, that song's really developed. I was like, "Yeah, it's a little different." And the first time we had played it, George was like, "I don't think," because I'm playing chords on bass and singing, and George was like, "I think this needs like a drum," and we did not own a drum, so he's playing a bucket in like a cookie tin, with like a towel over it.
That is,
I love DIY music so
Yeah,
much. I really do. But yeah, it's a song that I've held with me. That's just grown over many years, and I'm excited to tackle that one in our recording. I think it's going to be a really emotional process.
Oh.
But, this recording already is just so special, and like I can just like see everyone on stage, and I'm brought back to that feeling of like holding back tears, and then of course when I got off stage I let those tears go.
Yes.
Being completely overwhelmed and thankful, and just really trying to soak in that moment, and yeah, being thankful for the people that were there, and thankful for the many people for various reasons that I lost, and yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for having me here.
Well, it to learn so much, to be reminded, or to learn. Yeah, we should all look around all the time. Every day is a new gift.
Especially after these last couple of years. Every time I see someone, like, I'm so glad you're here. Just overwhelmed with gratitude, and it just, even this whole last year musically, the process of there have been people coming out of the woodwork to just be like, I, have witnessed my entire musical journey, like I got a message from my choir teacher from like elementary school and we had a cute chat. Jane Mason, she had shared, like, I still think about singing Fawn every time I'm about to record vocals. I can hear her, like, this is what your mouth shape should look like. It's just ingrained in me, just really incredible people just coming out to be like, I, have been passive in like your online life, but just want you to know that I hear this and I appreciate it, and it's just incredible. So yeah, just so thankful for the people that are here, and
I think you're the perfect recipient of an opportunity from Cedar. I mean, I it's just because somebody who really appreciates it and takes advantage of it, and it sounds like the song "Morning." To be holding on to it for that long, when you do record it, it will be like giving birth. And I have 3 children, so I don't say that lightly. But to be holding on to something for that for so long, it must be. Does it feel cathartic yet?
It does. It also doesn't feel finished.
Okay.
Because I feel like it's just continuously adapted as, I feel like how you experience grief as you get older is it changes, and you find yourself grieving things that you never thought that you would, and part of that is place, part of that is people, part of that is like I miss my old car like a lot. My very first car was that a lot. Just these goofy things that you come to, they always say, like, you don't know what you had until it's gone, kind of thing, and that is so true for so many things, or even just like wanting something to exist again, that feeling, that yearning for the comfort of whether it be a person or place or experience. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. It's a heavy song, and every time I hear it, I'm like, I want to be emotional. But I'm just thankful that everyone who was a part of the commission. So Juan and Kaylin and Tate. Just gonna butcher all that all together.
You just gave them a mash up right there of all the
I can't imagine the depth of bonding with those 3 beings.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was so. I was the only common person in that whole space. So Juan and I had gone to high school together, so we had never met anyone else. I had only met Tate and I were standmates in an orchestra for like a couple of days, and so like that was like my only time with him.
Wow.
But had followed him musically, and he's written about TCK experiences as well, and I was like, I love his voice, I love his artistic vision, and without a doubt I was like, I know I want to include him. And then Kaylin is, like I said, someone who just, she understands. I swear she can hear what's in my head. It's just terrifying, and I love it. And she did all of the recording, mixing, and mastering of my single as well. And she's playing the lead guitar line at the end, and did a whole bunch of other things on there that I don't know. Just wizardry, I swear to God. She's incredible. She did all of Jamie the Fizz's stuff as well.
Oh, fantastic.
So if you've heard anything I've done in the last couple of years, it's all Kaylin. I just play bass and sing sometimes. The rest of it is Kaylin, I swear. But so Tate and Juan, and then Anna for the couple of days that she was here, we all lived in the same house together, and it just such an incredible experience. And the first time we all rehearsed together, it just like I was just like weeping. I was like, I didn't have worries about them playing together. I knew that was going to work, and to have it so beautifully confirmed, not only in like just all of them being incredible musicians, but like to have them understand, and like, you're handing over something very delicate, or at least in my mind I'm like, here's my baby, handle with care, and to have it just so not only respected but beyond what I ever could have imagined. It was incredible.
Imagine.
It was magic. It
Yeah.
really was. It
Yeah,
really
I mean,
was.
it's really, it's nice to see the gratitude that you have and the appreciation that you have for it, because another person might not, and not, it's taking the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of having that discipline of being able to say, all right,
Yeah.
this is so what are the next steps for you?
Gosh, I don't know. This was a big thing for me. I have been, I feel like I play well with others. I'm a great supporting member. I love playing bass. It's my favorite thing. I wish I could do it all the time. I'm just soaking it all in right now. Creating this song and the whole process of the commission was something I will hold on to just forever, and I think it's continued to just open so many doors in such an incredible way that I just never thought would be available to me in all my years of playing music, but I'm thankful for it. My next show is with Ginny and the Thies. We've talked about them a couple of times. That's one of my primary bands. We're playing at the Turf Club on December 9th with opening for Pull String, which is really fun. And then I'm in a band with Kaylin now,
Nice.
which is exciting. And Johnny, who actually is drumming on the single.
Awesome.
We're in a band called The Briefly Gorgeous.
It's a good name.
That.
It's a sad name for those of us that were old. It's a great name. It's a great name.
They're wonderful. It's fun to play music with them. It's kind of a pop rock kind of group. We have a show in January. I believe it's the 21st at Cadence. And then again, I guess the only other show I can think of off the top of my head is Ginny will also be playing 7th Street in February.
Okay.
So got a fun little spread out, but a really great run of shows coming up.
Awesome.
So.
Well, we will look forward to those, and we'll look forward to more of the music being more widely available.
Yes,
so,
thank you. Yeah, no, it's been exciting. This whole process, I'm terrified and I'm excited.
That's good.
All the feels.
If you're not doing something that scares you, you're living wrong.
I have a bandmate, Matt, who plays in Ginny and the Thies, and he's also the main guitar player on the single. And he's definitely one of those guys who's like, if you're feeling some type of way, just rub some dirt on it kind of way. Just very blunt about all of it. And definitely he's like scared. He's like, do it anyway. Just do it anyway, And
It'll go away. It'll go away.
I don't think it will. I would trust him, but do it anyway. So
That's the way to do it.
It's good to have those people in your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maddie, thank you so much for joining us. This has been a delight.
Thank you for having me. I so appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, and our theme today is all music for thanks.
Thanks,
you were the perfect person.
Yeah.
I love that theme.
We're thankful for you.
It's my favorite thing.
All right, what are we going to listen to next?
We have Sunshine with Davina and the Vagabonds.
Awesome.
Yes.